Okay, well, hi everybody. Um, my name is Autumn, and I'm the co-owner of Sweet Currency Vending. We operate out of Northern Virginia, um, and this is our first video and live stream. And it's going to be a Q&A. But before we get started with any of the questions that we have going on, I'm just going to do a little bit of talking, a little bit of instructing. I want to say thank you guys for all the support, especially to friends and family that have really pushed me to go in this direction. And let's get started. One of the first things I want to talk about is one of the things I think that any successful business owner actually talks about when they start their own business is mindset. I really want to sit up here and really talk to you about your why. So when you first start a business, if you want it to be successful, you really got to know why you're going into it. And so a lot of other people will call it like your big why. So you really need to think about what your why is while you're sitting down and preparing to start your own vending business. A little bit about us. We started Sweet Currency Vending, my husband and I, back in 2020 in the height of COVID. And one of the things was we were realizing that even though we both have jobs and we both have good paying jobs, I work as a teacher. I have amazing benefits. I have an awesome schedule that allows me to be with my children when my children are off and to pick them up from school when they get out of school and things like that. But it really doesn't supply for the little bit of extras. Like right now, it's sports season, right? Everybody's kids are doing baseball or soccer. Our daughter does gymnastics, and those things add up and those things cost. And if you are like a public servant, like a police officer or a firefighter or somebody that works at the courthouse, you make a decent living. Absolutely. You can pay your bills. Absolutely. You can drive a decent car, but can you do all the extras that you want to do? So my husband and I were really thinking about, okay, how can we bring in some extra income into our home? And we're like, well, we could go pick up part-time jobs. And then you start thinking about, okay, well, a part-time job means I'm on somebody else's schedule. A part-time job means, I'm going to be putting in probably a lot of hours in order to bring home that little bit of extra. And I'm probably going to be putting in like a lot of effort. It's, part-time jobs aren't easy. If you're working at a grocery store, bagging groceries, or as a cashier, you're on your feet. And if you're already working a full-time job, you don't want to go to a second job where you are standing up all day or moving things around. So honestly, we were like, that's not an option for us. So going in and doing, just your standard part-time job that usually a high schooler or a college kid would, normally do, it just wasn't an option. We want to keep our jobs. We weren't trying to get rich overnight, but we also wanted to bring extra income in just for, the extras so the kids can do gymnastics and basketball and soccer and baseball and all those things. So we could take a nice vacation and not worry about what it's going to do to our budget or how it's going to affect us financially. So that was really the big push. That was our why. That's where we started. So once we started and we realized we do want to bring in extra income, but we didn't want to go the traditional route with, that traditional like part-time job delivering pizzas or door dashing or something like that, because we just didn't have the time or the energy. We did a little bit of research, and Sweet Currency Vending was born. So in anything that you do, I just really want you to remember what your why is. And it's so important to hold on to that, because you are going to have setbacks. You are going to have failures. And what will push you through those things is your why. It's going to maintain you when there is a setback. It's going to maintain you when you're doubting yourself. It's going to maintain you and help your business continue and to eventually succeed when you hit those rough spots and those rough patches. Okay. So again, think about your why, write it down, hang it up on the wall. We have a vision board in our house. Really know why you're doing what you're doing. So, now that I've told you my why, You can go ahead and put in the chat your why, or also, those of you that are here, you can go ahead and put in the chat any questions that you have. And as we go through the live stream, as we go through the video, I'll answer those questions for you. So knowing your mindset, knowing your why, is kind of the first step in what you want for starting a brand new business. Next thing, really, know your resources. I'm going to say know your resources. One of the things that we knew we did not have a lot of was time. We just don't have a lot of time. We both work full time. I love my job, and it's a great schedule, but I don't have a lot of extra time to devote to, running a business. So know your time. Vending is great for this. Honestly, with the amount of locations that we have and the number of machines that we have, the fact that we only spend 10 hours a week doing what we do and running our business and actually bringing in extra income is great. And that's why I really like the vending business. I really like owning vending machines. It's not a lot of stress. It's not a lot of time, but you do have to devote some time to it. Okay, so definitely know your resources, know how much time you can put into this. Also, do you have space? And that's, I have a 2-car garage. We used to park both cars in the garage. Now I only park one car in the garage because the other side kind of is filled up with bottled and canned drinks that we use and sell in our machines. So do you have the space? Do you have the time? And do you have the cash flow? You can't start with $0. You're going to need a little bit of startup money. It's not a lot. Vending is one of those, low cost startups, but there is a startup cost. You are going to have to purchase your own machine, and you are going to have to purchase those products that you're going to put into your machine the first go around before you start making a little bit of money and the business starts supporting itself. So know your resources. Also, just transportation. Do you have the right transportation? We own a minivan. Hi, I'm that soccer mom, and it's awesome because we just throw the seats down. We can go to the warehouse store, Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, Restaurant Depot, whatever it is you use. We can roll up, we can fill up, and then drive the minivan on back to our house where we actually keep all of our inventory. You can get a storage unit. Some people do. I haven't seen the need. I'm willing to give up some space in my basement, which is just a playroom. So half the playroom is playroom and the other half is snacks, chips, cookies, those kinds of things are all stored down there. And again, half my garage is taken up by bottled drinks and canned drinks. But if you're willing to give up those things, then, this is definitely the business for you. All right. So if you know your why and you know your resources, then you can really move into starting your business. And it's not as easy as just, I'm going to go buy a machine and stick it somewhere. That's not starting a vending business. I 100% absolutely recommend the first thing that you do is get incorporated. Like, you need to protect yourself. And one of the best ways to protect yourself as a small business is to legalize your business and get incorporated. That way, there's a barrier between your business and your personal. And that way, if anything was to happen, you never know. Some people shake those machines and that machine might fall on them. And if you don't have that business separate from your personal, you might end up losing a lot of your personal because that one person shook the machine too hard and it fell on them. So I definitely recommend first thing you do is you get legal. You go, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to do this. It doesn't take a lot of time to do this. You can do it all in one day. I really recommend you go ahead and incorporate your business. There's different ways to incorporate your business. You could do an LLC. You could do a sole proprietorship. You can do a C Corp. There's lots of different ways. Partnership. There's lots of different ways. You got to do the research. But I highly recommend doing that part first. That's not the fun part. That's not the part everybody likes. Everybody's like, oh yeah, you just get a machine and put snacks in it. Not really how it goes. But I highly recommend you do that part first. And of course, if you have questions about all of that, that's all included in Sweet Currency University, which is coming soon. It's almost done. We're still working on editing and getting it ready for you. But in the links, and I'm also going to put in the chat, there is a link for you to sign up for that. And I walk you step by step through starting with your mindset, moving into becoming a legal operating business, and then into the fun stuff. So one of the top questions I get, can you make good money? Absolutely. 100% anybody can make money in the vending machine business. All you need is a machine and a location, and you can make money. A little bit of time, you can make money. Now, I will say, be leery of the people that you see on TikTok pulling out like wads of cash out of the vending machine, because that's really isn't reality. Does it pay for vacations? Absolutely. Does it pay for your kids to do Little League? Absolutely. But have reasonable expectations on how much money you're going to make. And it all depends on how much effort and how much time you're going to put into it and how much you're going to grow your business. So can it make money? Yes. But, I have one location that makes close to $1,000 a month in sales. We had another location that made less than $50 a month in sales. So honestly, can it make money? Yes and no. There are a lot of machines out there that you can buy for $200, $300, $400 off of Craigslist, off of Facebook Marketplace. But think about why those machines are there. It's because somebody else bought a machine thinking they were going to make all kinds of money and didn't follow through, didn't do the steps of a good business person, and ended up not making any money and quitting. And now they're trying to sell you the machine. Okay, so does the vending machine business make money? Absolutely. But you got to put a little bit of work into it, just like anything else. So again, I have one location that makes $1,000 a month, and it's just one location, and it'll make over $1,000 a month. Where I have another location that we actually ended up removing our machine from because we thought it was going to be great. It started off kind of okay, and then it just, if we made $2 sales in a day, we were like, oh wow, somebody used the machine. Whereas at the other place, we're like filling that machine up more than once a week because it's making money. All right, so that does answer that question. Absolutely, it will make money. But the biggest issue is location. So talking about location is key. Key things to think about location. First of all, never buy a machine until you have a location. Oh my goodness, you're going to be that person trying to sell a machine on Craigslist. All right, make sure you have a location first. Do not go buy a machine and go, oh, this is great, I'm going to buy a drink machine. We did that. We went and we're like, oh, okay, we think a drink machine is going to be the easiest thing to handle and make us the most money. So we went ahead and we got a drink machine. And yeah, couldn't find a location. My husband spent on the phone one day, he called 64 different locations and either got a no or a hang up. Okay, so make sure you have a location first. Are there locations out there? Yes. Do you think, all the good locations are taken? Yeah, they probably are, but that doesn't mean you can't get a location. Almost every single location that we have now, I was actually able to go in and replace the vendor that was there. Okay, so don't get discouraged just because you got the door slammed in your face 100 times. You can find a good location. Things to think about when you're getting a location. First of all, how far away from you is the location? Okay, you do not want to say yes to a location that is 2 hours away. How are you going to drive 2 hours one way to fill up a machine? What if something happens to the machine and it's down and you got to go repair it? Now you're trekking 2 hours. Now you've just like eliminated, one of the benefits of running a vending machine business, and that would be like the low amount of hours that you have to spend on it. So first of all, is the location convenient to you, relevant to you, within your mile radius that you're willing to travel. And don't say yes to just everything, because, oh my gosh, you will say yes and be driving to Pennsylvania to fill a vending machine and not making any money. Think about the gas costs. Okay. So, first, is the location in a good place for you to travel to? Two, you need to think about the hours. Okay, we have locations that are open 24 hours. Those are great because it might be we pack up, I give the kids a bath and put the kids to bed, and my husband goes out at 9 o'clock at night and fills the location because it's open 24 hours. So those are awesome because you can really be flexible about when you go fill it up and how you service it. We have other locations that are only open from 8 to 4. Those, kind of put a little bit of a time constraint on my weekly activities, because I have to figure out, okay, when am I going to go hit that location? I need to get there before 4 o'clock when they close. My husband works past 4 o'clock, so he can't do that location. So you have to kind of think about the hours of availability. Sometimes a location might be open, but they're not available for you to go in and service your machine. So think about the hours and availability. Can you service the machine during the hours that they're available? The next thing you want to look at is number of employees or foot traffic. How many people are going to walk past your machine? Like I said, we had that one location. We thought it was going to be good. There was like over 40 people. You want to stick to like over 40 employees. There was over 40 people working there. It was kind of like in this little warehouse area where like, oh, we do really well with warehouses. They make us money. And again, if we got a $2 sale, and it was just because the population or the number of people that were working there really didn't walk past the machine that much. And the ones that did it was just a different kind of clientele. They brought their lunch. They brought their snacks. They really weren't into using a vending machine. So you really got to think about, do the employees really want the machine? If the employees really want the machine and they're the ones asking the manager to get a machine, or their employees are the ones complaining about the current vendor and they want a new, vendor to come in and service the machine, then you're going to have better luck. You're going to make more money because you're going to have more people walking past your machine and using your machine. So you want to think about the number of employees. Try not to go less than 40 employees. Don't go putting it in an office building with 10 employees. Those 10 employees are not going to fund your next Disney vacation. They're just not. So at least 40 employees or more. Check the hours. Make sure the hours work for you. Check the location. Make sure the location works for you. Then once you find that location, then you can ask questions about, what kind of machine do I buy? There are different kinds of machines. It's not just drink or snack. In fact, all of our machines except for one are combination machines. Usually a location has room for one machine, but they want snacks and drinks. So we have combination machines where the top half is like snacks and then the bottom half is the drinks. And it's fully refrigerated. So they make us good money. Drink machines can make you good money, but sometimes, feeding somebody some salty peanuts is going to make them come back and buy that Coke. Okay. So location, foot traffic, number of users. And then the key to getting in the location, honestly, walk in. You can cold call. A lot of people don't like to cold call. They feel kind of weird on the phone. It's a very difficult thing. You have to be pretty skilled at sales if you're going to be a cold call person. You can call. My husband called 64 different locations, and guess what? They all said no or hung up on him. But buy a box of donuts and walk in and make friends with the receptionist. Have your promotional materials. It doesn't have to be something that you printed off at Staples. You could just make a flyer and print it on your home computer and take the flyer in with you. And like I said, take some treats in with you. Stop at Dunkin' Donuts, get a box of donuts, Krispy Kreme, stop at Krispy Kreme, get the good stuff, right? Walk in, make friends. That usually leaves a better impression, and especially if the receptionist is there, because usually the receptionist, if you make friends with them, they will make sure your flyer gets in front of the right person, and they will also be the one that's cheering for you. So we've gotten locations because the employees wanted it. I walked in, talked to the right employee, and that employee hounded the manager until the manager called me and was like, yeah, can you come put in a machine? All right, so location is key. Now I've got a location. You go in, look professional. You do not need to have, you know, you do not need to have your logo on your shirt. Just wear a nice shirt, a nice pair of pants, walk in, look professional. And when they call you up, be ready to come in and survey the area. How big is the space? Take tape measure, kind of measure how big is the space, so that you know what kind of machine you're going to buy. And so you're ready. Like I said, everybody, you can go ahead and put any questions that you have in the chat and I'll answer your questions. Here's a question. Yeah, good one. Okay. Commissions. Out of all of our locations, we don't pay commission to anybody. You got to be a good salesperson when it comes to this, but you walk in and you tell them, look, I'm providing a service for you. You don't have to touch the machine. You don't have to buy product from the machine. You don't have to service the machine. All you have to do is let me plug it in. It doesn't take more electricity than a standard refrigerator, and sell it that way. You're providing a service, therefore you're not going to pay them to provide a service. Okay, so try not to pay commissions. There are places that will ask you to pay commission. Usually they are big places or government places. Schools want commission because they want to cut, for their programs. Government buildings require that you enter into a contract and you will pay commission. But just your standard, regular corporate business, we don't pay commission. Because again, you're providing a service. They want their employees functioning on a higher level. And sometimes they're going to need their peanut M&Ms and their afternoon monster to get through the day. And that's the service you provide. You keep the employees happy and refreshed, and they get more productivity out of their employees. So don't pay commission. I also don't sign contracts. It's a handshake. You just tell them, hey, look, you don't like me, let me know. Within a week, I'll have my machine out, or within 2 weeks, I'll have my machine out. We don't sign contracts with people. Usually they're good with that. They're like, all right, great, bet, you can put your machine in. And I will tell you this, when you walk in and you're trying to get a location, just ask them, are you happy? Are you happy with your current vending machine servicer? Most of the time, I swear 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no. They probably have one of the big corporate guys, and those people are having a hard time getting employees. So because those companies are having a hard time getting employees, they're having a hard time maintaining the machines and keeping the machines full. You are going to push the fact that you're local. You're going to push the fact that you're a small business. This is your bread and butter. This is your passion. And then they'll feel like they're being served by you. They're going to feel like you're really going to take care of them, and they will kick the other people out. You just tell them, look, you have no contract with this other vendor. Go ahead and give them a call. Tell them to come get their machine. Once they come get their machine, give me a call. I'll get mine in. It's as easy as that. So it's not a big deal to go in where there's already an existing machine and replace it. And there you go. Now you have a working location. There are also people that are vending machine locators. Usually a vending machine warehouse will know people that are locators. We've actually used a locator before. We paid $250, maybe $300. I think it was $300 for a location. They got us a location. It was a good location. In fact, it was our first location because after the 64 no's, we were a little defeated. We had this drink machine. We didn't know what to do with it. So we did end up paying a locator, and they got us our first location. I don't recommend going with, I forget the name of the company, but there are companies out there, and they're kind of like chains, like your McDonald's or Burger King. I don't recommend going with them. They take a cut. They require that you buy their machine. They require that you use their promotional products. They require that every month you pay a fee, kind of thing. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. You need to be your own business, and you don't need other people telling you what to do and how to run your business. And you also don't need anybody else in your pocket, right? That money you work for, you keep it. Equipment. All right. There's all kinds of equipment out there. Buy the machine that you're the most comfortable with. Do your research. So the machines that we use, we buy from a warehouse out in Maryland. We like it because he provides great customer service. We are not machine fixers. That's not our thing. So but he's awesome. So like we'll call up and be like, the machine is doing this. I don't know what to do. And he will immediately send me directions on how to fix it, all the codes that I need to fix my machines. I haven't had any issues. Um, there's YouTube videos galore on how to fix machines as well. So if you want to buy a machine off of Facebook, you could probably find somebody that is going to show you on YouTube how to fix it if something was to go wrong. A lot of the times it's a really easy fix, but be careful. Don't buy machines that are too old where you can't get replacement parts, because a lot of companies, once they stop selling the machine, they stop making the replacement parts. And then you could end up with a machine that just needs a coin mechanism, but that coin mechanism doesn't exist anymore. And so now you have a very large piece of furniture and not something that's making you cash. Customer service. Let's talk about customer service. Customer service is key. Now, on all of our machines, we have a business number. It's a virtual number. We have a business number on all our machines, and it says on the little sticker that you can call or text this number if there's a problem. Customer service is key, 100%. If you're in there and you're responsive, you will keep that location. The reason you probably got the location is because the other people were not responsive. And so you want to stay in there and you want to be responsive and you just want to get that customer service. If a customer calls me and they're like, hey, the machine just took my $2. I didn't get my Arizona iced tea. All right, honey, what's your name? Okay, great. I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'll leave it at the front desk. You tell them I'm going to refund you. And I always refund them and then give them the product that they purchased as well. Or if I don't know what it was that they purchased or they didn't say, I will just refund them double. Customer service is key. You do that and they're probably going to put that money right back into your machine. Okay, so take care of your customers and you will keep your business running and operating. Here's a little tip. Make friends with the manager, make friends with, especially at a warehouse, like the warehouse manager, whoever everybody goes to when they have problems, and give them some petty cash. So what I do at all my locations, because sometimes it happens, right? The machine ate their dollar, the machine didn't drop, the sensor didn't work, it happens. So I just leave like $20 in ones. And I put in an envelope and I say, vending machine, petty cash. That works great as well, because if the machine doesn't give them their snack or doesn't give them their, or takes their money, they go immediately over to whoever it is I left the money with, and they refund them right there. So everybody's happy. So that's a key thing that I do at all my locations, and it has worked out really well. And in fact, I don't think I've had to refill the petty cash at any location. But all my people are happy and they like it when they see me come through my buggy. Everybody says hi and it's nice to me because they're getting the customer service that they want. What snacks do you buy? Okay, a variety. I do a variety of different kinds of snacks. I do a variety of different kinds of drinks. You put it into your machine, and then you kind of wait and see what sells, what doesn't. What happened to expire in the machine because nobody purchased it. Don't put that back in your machine. You want to think about each slot in your vending machine as being real estate, okay? And you want to make sure that that real estate is making you money. If a slot is not moving because they don't like plain M&Ms, do not put plain M&Ms in there. There is no point in that. You want to constantly be making money, and every single slot should be selling. Takes a little bit of practice, and it just depends. There is no magic number. So at one location, they love Coca-Cola. They buy out the Coca-Cola. I have like 6 rows of cans of Coke because that's their drink. They love it. But then at another location, they were all about Pepsi. And every time my husband went and filled up over there, if you put Coke in there, they never bought it, but they would buy Pepsi. They liked Pepsi and Little Debbie. Whereas the other location, they like Coca-Cola and spicy chips. It's just, you'll learn. You'll kind of figure out and learn. And that's kind of the fun part about doing the vending is, putting your little entrepreneur hat on and figuring out what your customer likes. Yeah, same thing with drinks. People ask me about the cost. Okay, so rule of thumb, is whatever the cost was, you double it, and that's what you sell it for. So I typically, unless it's like less than $1. Okay, so like a bag of chips cost me 36 cents. Okay, I'm not going to sell it for 72 cents. That's silly. I sell it for $1. You can sell it for $2. Kind of play with the numbers a little bit and see how it goes. Start out a little high, and if that's too high and things aren't moving, you can drop it down a little bit and see if you can get stuff to move. But typically, like a bag of chips, I sell it for $1. Candy is hard. Candy doesn't sell that well for us. I don't know why. Like a lot, unless it's peanut M&M. Everybody loves those. Candy's kind of hard to make profit off of. So we sell it for $1.50. A lot of people don't like to buy a bag of M&Ms for more than $1.50. But then you're not making that much profit because candy's kind of expensive. But then you make up for it with drinks. So a can of Coke costs me 16 cents. I sell a can of Coke for $1. I'm making profit, So rule of thumb when it comes to pricing your snacks and your drinks and things like that is break it down, whatever it is that it costs. Don't forget to add tax. We're going to pass that on to the customer, okay? So when you're breaking down the cost is whatever you paid for it plus the tax you paid for it, or the tax you're going to pay on the back end for it. Because if you're a business, you actually can get resale exempt and not pay taxes when you purchase items, but you pay taxes when you file your taxes every month with the state that you are operating in. So add the tax in and then divide it by however many items are in that box. And that's your actual cost. And then just double it, put it in the machine for double. Big sellers, peanut M&Ms, spicy chips. People like hot Cheetos. Oh my goodness, do people like hot Cheetos? And well, not M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, hot Cheetos, and Monster. People need caffeine. It's killing me. I have this one location and they won't allow us because of what it is. They have like clean rooms and they create computer parts and things like that. So those people, they won't allow us to put cans in the vending machine. It has to be a bottle that has a lid so it can be sealed. And so it's so difficult because I want to put a can of Monster in that drink machine so bad. So I know I can make a lot of money off of that, and it's a hot seller. America runs on peanut M&Ms and Monster. And it's funny because I can see that people are looking for caffeine because they will buy the Mountain Dew because it has a high caffeine. They will buy the Starbucks coffee bottles that we put in there because they want the caffeine. They're still shift workers. They still work at a warehouse, and they're trying to get that buzz to get them through the rest of their day. But unfortunately, I can't put Red Bulls or Monsters or Bangs or what's another hot one? Celsius is a hot one. And right now, it's killing me. Prime. Everybody's all about that bottle of Prime and trying to find it. Like the locations that we purchase from, they're sold out. And in order to like get it shipped or whatever, it just doesn't make sense for me to get it shipped because the cost to me would not be worth what I'm putting into the machine to sell it for. I can't sell a bottle of Prime for $5. But in order to get it shipped to me, I would have to sell it for $5 to make any kind of profit. Watch the Super Bowl. When you watch the Super Bowl, you watch the commercials, you see the new products that are coming out, and that's what people want. And then if you can get those things into your machines, you're going to make money. Any other questions? So I think I got one coming through. Here we go. Any other questions? Let me know. You can put it in the chat. There's a link on my YouTube page. If you go down into the About Me and you click on the links, there's a link that'll take you to our Sweet Currency University. If you have any other questions, you can always email me, autumn.hunter@sweetcurrencyuniversity.com. Let me know. I want to hear from you. Do me a favor. Go ahead and like the video or hit subscribe. That really helps me out. And then the last thing I want to say, since I don't have any more questions, is, do what I do. Be happy because it drives people crazy. I'll see you guys next time.